crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2. My name is John, and happy Mother's Day for those that are celebrating such an event. What an awesome day if you have your mother still around or have someone like that in your life. I'm very fortunate. I have Mama Jan as part of my extended family now. Always fun to get to celebrate and have folks like that involved. So, for all you ladies that are mothers, grandmothers, happy Mother's Day. What an awesome day for all of you. So, it has been a wild and crazy weekend. I actually got a lot done, which is kind of good for a change. It has been kind of an exciting weekend as far as being able to check off projects, which is not always the case. So, Miss Balloon from Tucson. My friend down in Tucson was first in today. Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. Mr. Russ is here. Thanks for joining us. Jean's um, in the house. Judy's here. Joydy's here. Hey, welcome in, Joydy. It seems like it's been a while since I've got to chat with you. Nightbot is here. That's always a good thing. I have not switched out of Nightbot. So far, it still seems to work for me and do what I need. So I have stayed over on that side. Who else is here? Sally's here. Welcome in, Sally. I hope you've had an amazing weekend and a happy Sunday. Yes, look, she says happy Mother's Day to all moms, grandmas, and fur baby moms, right? My so as you all know, right, my niece and I are like brother and sister because I really don't have any relationship with most of my family, but my niece and I tend to be we're like brothers and sisters and kind of joined at the hips in a lot of ways. And she reminded me today that she is a fur mother. She is a cat mother. So she ended up adopting a runt um, out of a litter of cats that decided to have the litter of cats in her backyard, basically. And they were able to capture all but one. And the one they didn't capture, she ended up adopting. And now this cat, I mean, it's just so beyond me. Um, she's now taken this stray cat that she's had, known since it was a kitten, but now has adopted it. It's been to the vet. It's had all its good shots in that. It has an $800 poop house and or litter box. It's just, oh my God, it's just beyond me. But she's one that I'm making the cat quilt for Christmas that Russ has already knocked out in a weekend. I do have mine finally cut, and yet Joydy. It is somewhere in one of these baskets to be worked on, but we'll get to all that. It's like it's not going anywhere, right? And it's not like it's food where it's going to expire. So eventually we'll start making headway there. The sad part is at the Derby party, one of the ladies goes, I went in that room. I said, You're talking about the cutting room. And she goes, Yeah, I went in your cutting room. She said, like you just have tubs and tubs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We don't even want to get into all the tubs. So Joydy only gets to see what's here on camera. She has no idea what's in yet the other room, in that closet, or in the cutting room. So um, John has John has heavily invested in all those things. Oh, Valuna says she's a canine mom. Tell you what, we just talked about puppies the other day. I miss having a puppy. I'm not ready to go back. Maybe when I retire one day, and that I don't want the obligation. I've had wives and children and dogs and hamsters and lovebirds, and just not ready for any more obligation other than me. Sherry is here. Hey, Sherry, thanks for being here this afternoon. Candace, thanks for dropping in. Sally says she is a canine mom as well. Come on, I can keep up with this. Chat's been going pretty good tonight. Candace says, Happy Mother's Day to all, Joydy. Cool. Charlotte's here. Hey, welcome in, Charlotte. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. So, just crazy. So much going on in that. I actually got a lot done this weekend. I actually achieved some projects. and actually went to Quilt Club yesterday and got to spend some time there. I ended up not staying. They had an all-day AccuQuilt workshop. I did not go for the day. I did go over just for what we call our meeting portion of it, which was fun. But I did go for that for a little bit because I'm really starting to fall in love with my AccuQuilt. If you remember a few weeks ago, I did the purple and lavender wall hanging, is what I'll call it, which was an opportunity to really get into one of the cubes and experiment with it. And actually did flying geese, which I've never done. I did some half square triangles. And it's just amazing how easy the AccuQuilt makes some of that. And so it's really helping me build some confidence and get some better skills. With that said, I did end up doing a new project with my AccuQuilt. And I know you all will be shocked that it's May and John's doing Christmas. But if BBMK was on here, she would be very excited to see this. So this came out with the new 16-inch cube. And so you have to have the 8-inch and the 16-inch cube basically to do this, or you could resize it and use some of the other cubes. But it's a mid-century. Um, it just called to my heart. I just couldn't help it. So I did get this cut out. I did get to take it to the Go Gang on yesterday for them to see it. But I think this just turned out too adorable, right? So it's harder to see, but it's on a pink background. And of course, it's got the pink tree, the red tree, the dark red tree, the green Christmas tree, the more like a pistachio Christmas tree, dark green. It was just too cute. I had to get this and get it done. But even better, not only did I get everything cut out, get everything sewn together, I actually got it quilted and it's got binding. So how amazing is that that I actually got the binding done and then I ended up using this for the backing. It was just I don't know, something to me just said this backing. Oh, it's hard to see that far away on camera. It's but to me it's like this mid-century just kind of called for that backing. So that's what I ended up doing. So I was real happy with it, and I ended up doing just the crossed quilting on it. I did do this on my long arm, and really kind of like the way that worked on my long arm, my sit down long arm, the Sweet 16, really kind of better than using Jake. And then I kind of thought that, and then turned around and um, wasn't as happy with some other things today. So we'll see. But I was really excited to get a project done, right? Start to finish. So not only did I cut that, actually, and believe it or not, I actually used all of my stash. So, well, that's a lie. Wow. Sorry. I was going to say that I actually used everything that I in that project was in house, but that's a lie. I did not have the pink background fabric. I did not have anything in this pale pink because I guess I tend to always buy more loud, loud colors. So I did have to go to our little variety quilt store up here yesterday, and I grabbed a yard and a half in that. Look, I even put my Guys Craft 2 tag on the back. So I am really excited. I was very happy with how that turned out. So I did get that done. Um, Jody says, I'm coming over to peek in your windows, leave your blinds open on that side of the roof. I think you'd be really shocked. I think you'd go, wow, this guy, you got to remember all the unboxing videos and the shopping videos I did. So, it's just stacked up. And interesting enough, I ordered 4 rolling bins yesterday with big drawers because as I moved one closet into another closet and swapped some stuff out and redid that piece of the crafting, I decided I don't like the laundry baskets for all my scraps and that. So now I'm trying to organize the scraps better into at least small scraps, big scraps, and then I'm ending up with, like half yard of material. And I've been kind of like storing those on the shelves, but that's just not really cutting it for me. So I ordered some storage bins yesterday for that. So we'll see how those go. Jean says, I love the trees. Thank you. Thanks, Jackie. Miss Sally, thank you. So we did get some things accomplished. That's always a good thing. All right, let's see what's going on. Oh, Jody says definitely a great backing. Thank you. Bluna says I love tree quilts, but one of these days I will make one. Right? That's too funny. Mm-mm-mm. Katie Crafts is here. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. See, Russ even agrees. See, that's why Russ is the enabler, right? But Russ says it's hard to use all of your scraps on, or not scraps, but all of your stash on one project. And it is. I was so excited because I thought I've got everything I need for that project. And then when I went to look for the pink background, I had nothing that was going to work. So it's like, wow. Judy said it, but it's easy to buy a new stash. Amen. So getting going in that, I decided, you know what, I want to work on trying to start accomplishing and getting projects completed. Right, I have so many UFOs, whips, whatever you want to call them, and so I did manage to get a few things done. So I got this, which you all may remember I did at the park home. I did get this quilted, and so it has now been quilted. I love that spider, right? So I did get it quilted today. I quilted it on the long arm. I specifically wanted to quilt, really just do like stitch in the ditch on this, going down through here, all around it and that. And I really just did not like the way my Sweet 16 did it. I got it done on there. It's not perfect. It's actually far from perfect because I did use black thread, which blended uh, for the most part, and no one's ever going to know it and see it, especially once I get it trimmed and get the binding on it. And it's cute. I mean, I'm happy with this, but I did get that done. And then I had this one sitting ready to go. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to bring it in and let Jake see if Jake will be good today and let Jake stitch that in the ditch because I had done one in both colors, right? So I did one purposely in the black colorway, and then I did one that was more neutral with the whites and the oranges. And I really like the way this one turns out. I did quilt it on Majuki, and I did quilt it with a stitch in the ditch. So I think it really, I think this one turned out better. So because I went around, well, actually, I went around this border first, and then I went around the outside border, and then I came back in and just did the cross hash all the way around each one of these blocks. And having the thread cutter and all that on here, I think made this work out so much better. So I was kind of happy. I did use my walking foot. So I had already switched out of that and switched back. So see, I'm lazy enough. It's like, okay, now I need another machine. So I just keep walking foot on one and this one on the other. But I am not buying another machine. I am just kidding. But I am using the walking foot a little bit more, and it does seem to really work well. And see, to me, it just doesn't make sense for these type of table runners and that to put them on that big long arm and try to load it and then baste it and do all that. By the time I get through all of that, I can actually have it done on the on Jake here. So, and Jake actually behaved and did not give me any craziness. So I'm happy. So now I have two Halloween quilts or table runners done. I have the tree topper wall hanging done. And now I am working on, I've got three more table runners to get done. I have this one from spring, and this was I think the La Rosa pattern that we did. So I've got that I'm going to try to work on tonight while we are chatting. And then I've got a Christmas one that I need to stitch out as well. And so I'm going to let Jake do that one as well. And then I've got one for St. Patrick's Day. So if I can get all of these quilted. Then all I have to do is trim them. Then all I have to do is bind them. But I'll have one, two, three. I'll have four, five. I'll have a total of five table runner type wall hanging things done. And then I need to start working on some of the other stuff. But it's just crazy. I did so. Let's go back to chat. Hey, Mama Jan, thanks for being here this afternoon. Mama Jan is coming over to have dinner with the boys tonight, and my special friend is making homemade chicken enchiladas. So I am very excited, and we're having homemade tortilla chips to go with it because I just work made me go take a cooking lesson as a team building activity, and we made homemade tortilla chips, homemade queso, rice, chicken enchilada stuff. Um, so it was all really nice. So I'm going to make homemade tortilla chips tonight, and he has got the chicken enchiladas going, which is just amazing. All right, so who else? Jeannie's here. Jeannie, Sally, Joy, trying to catch up. Oh, Zaza's here. Welcome in. Good afternoon, Zaza. Always fun to see you. Happy Mother's Day, Katrina. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Charlotte's here. Look, she says, John, you've been busy, right? Isn't it nice to know that John does accomplish projects occasionally? Because I swear I feel like all I do is talk about shopping sprees more than I do getting things done. Who else? Let's see, Jackie. All right, I think I am caught up on chat. Inez is here. Thanks for joining us. He says, "Sorry, I'm late. Family just left." You know what, family? If you got the family and are able to spend time with them, do so. I miss having a real family. I have a very, very small pool of family, and that's fine. Russ says, "Cooking lesson. Was it like a Gordon Ramsay TV show?" It was quite interesting. It's a French school that taught us how to make Mexican. So go figure. Oh, Katrina says it's getting mighty dark her way, more stormy way on the way. Ah, that's awful. But I will tell you, I did back in the day, being in Virginia and that, I did used to enjoy certain storms and that, and being able to just kind of hunker down and sit in the screen our Florida room and watch it and that kind of stuff. I definitely don't want to be out and about. Mm-mm. Majority says it's been that way all day for her as well. So yes, definitely stay safe in the storms. It's just crazy. It's we have heat in Arizona and we have dust storms occasionally in that, but it's just we don't experience the same level, at least in my opinion, of like the tornadoes or the hurricanes and all that kind of craziness that I had grown up um, around or hearing. Mm. All right. So what else? Um, Don't forget about the holiday quilting bee. That's coming up. I do have a couple of patterns I am going to give out again tonight. I did get the uh, winners last week. I did get theirs in the mail on Monday. We are doing the Sparkle and Stripes pattern by Villa Rosa. There is a video out there, so I'm not going to go into a bunch of details and just keep boring you. What else do we do this weekend? Oh, we actually put a new water mover doohickey thing on our on the hot water heater this weekend. So I don't know about you all, but it's been crazy. And for some reason, this house, you would think that I live in the White House in the biggest mansion because when I go to take a shower in the morning to turn that on to get the hot water, I believe it honestly goes to Phoenix to find it, and it goes to Tucson and eventually comes back to Phoenix and then finally comes back to my shower. It's like 8 to 10 minutes. Now, granted, when it finally arrives, it is good and hot, but it just takes forever and it drives me nuts just waiting because I cannot stand anything cold. Um, so that said, I happened to be at True Value the other day, and they had this hot water flow valve thing or whatever, but you put it on your hot water tank, and then you mount the other piece under the furthest point from the hot water heater, and then you can program it, and it will pull hot water through the pipes every so often and keeps it so it's more like an instant hot water. It is amazing. So that got installed this weekend. I can't begin to say how thankful I am. It's just amazing to walk over and turn the water on, and it's warm, and in 30 seconds it's scalding hot. And I don't even like to wash my hands in cold water. I'm that have that much phobia to cool. But anyway, so that was another project that got knocked out this weekend. Went to the garden this weekend. We've got zucchini, which are like this big. I am not kidding you. I've never seen such big zucchini in my life. I did not know zucchini grew that big. Um, I did get yellow squash, which are what I consider normal size. So we got two yellow squash. So I'll probably put that with. I like to do that boil it or boil bags on the Traeger on the grill. So you take the Reynolds wrap bags and just make pockets out of them and throw onions, potatoes, usually zucchini, squash, and a couple of chicken breasts and a big hunk of butter because yeah, I'm from the South, and let it grill up on the steam up on the grill for about 45 minutes. Usually comes out amazing, and it's all in one bag, so you can just have that and then toss it so there's no kitchen cleanup. So probably do that one night this week with the yellow squash because either that or boil it is really about the only two things I know. If we get enough, I would like to make a good yellow squash casserole. So we'll see how that comes in. But we got tomatoes again. Tomatoes are coming in slow. They're small. We've got what's called early girls, and they're not the biggest, but um, they're not bad. So I got that tomatoes, zucchini. Oh, when we got our first jalapeno pepper, which is going to be on the tonight, used in the chicken enchiladas. So how cool is that? We have fresh jalapeno peppers for that. What else do we have? So just a lot going on. All right. See. Go back to chat. Sally says she agrees with I used to get some mean storms in the north central Texas. Yeah, I tell you what, it's just crazy in some of those areas. Oh, oh no, Charlotte says a heat wave coming to Texas. They're predicting 109 on Wednesday. I don't know what our weather's looked like. We've been up in the upper 90s, but we haven't been, I don't think, any worse than that. Today was 99. Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, I mean, Charlotte, I know you would like to pass that on, but I'm good with you all keeping that. Today was supposed to be 100. Tomorrow's supposed to be 96, and the rest of the week is supposed to be mid 80s. So we have really had a delay in the weather jumping as crazy as it does. So I'm good with that. I don't mind the hot weather. I'll be honest. I really don't at the end of the day. But the longer that I can put off paying our local utility company a ton of money to bring me canned air, I'm good with. I would never ever want to be without my air conditioner. That's why I ended up replacing the unit last year to make sure that I would have a good unit. But I don't. I get so tired of being in refrigerated air all the time. Um, Anytime I can have the doors open and that I do, which unfortunately means a mess here in Arizona because of the all the dust and that. It's just amazing how nasty, dirty, dusty everything stays. But it is what it is. I do love Arizona and I do love being here. Zaza says Best ones I ever saw was in Switzerland where they were purple forked lightning at night, which was really cool. Wow. It's just so funny how the different weather patterns are across, the US and across the world. Trina says same for her. Hot water heater isn't, but about 6 feet from the sink. I know it just drives me nuts. I'm like, what in the world? Where is that? Mm. Well, Jackie says she got a tankless one. Yeah, I had a tankless at the last house because it was a brand new build, and we had a tankless there, and it worked great. But again, it still seemed like sometimes it took a couple of minutes to come through, but nothing like this house. That one I did have to wait on, for a minute, but nothing like that. Mama Jan says stuffed zucchini is so yummy. So Mama Jan may be going home with some zucchini tonight. I think actually a couple of them are too big to do anything with. I've always heard that if they get too big, that it's you have to worry about that they just don't taste right. Katrina says, fry that squash. I think my mom did fry squash back in the day. And I love yellow squash. I know a lot of people just boil it in water, and it's like that just, to me, just ruins the taste. I was also says her flour. Oh no, I've got tons of green tomatoes. So we are going to have plenty of tomatoes very shortly. They're just now starting to turn. And like I said, I only got four small ones, but tomorrow night for dinner is BLTs. So we're having homegrown lettuce, tomatoes, and just went to Costco and bought thick sliced bacon. So we are having BLTs for dinner tomorrow. Inez is here. Hey, Inez, welcome in. She says, love spaghetti squash. Very cold here. 40. Yes, that is very cold. Anything to me, I hate to tell you, anything below 78 is just cold to me. This is says her mom was terrified of thunderstorms, but they always fascinated me. They never bothered me, especially being in the house and that. But we had a female Bichon, Trixie was her name, and she would go berserk anytime it would thunder and lightning and storm and that. And so she got to be a lot to deal with. And I had never had a dog, and it's funny we had other dogs, so it wasn't like she was the only one in the house, and she was the only one that reacted that way. And I had never had a dog that way, but it was. I felt bad for her because she was miserable and she made everybody else miserable too. But it's like, how do you comfort a dog? I mean, it was really sad. Katrina says, I was watching YouTube, thought caught ball lightning in the sheriff's parking lot. That was amazing to watch. It is, I love watching the storm chasers, like ice road truckers. I've got friends that love the ice road truckers, and it's like, it is just amazing to watch some of those shows and see what's going on. All right, let me see. I don't know. I think I've got black in. If I've got black, then we'll just use black because I think black makes sense for this purple. Let's see what's in there. May actually sew tonight. Yep, I got black. All right. What else? Oh, Sally said when she lived in Texas, they get West Coast weather about 2 days later. Uh, Sally said in the mid 90s this weekend, too early in the season. I hate the heat. I don't mind it, but especially as long as I have a mild winter, which we did this year. We actually had a very dry winter. But what really frustrates me is when we have a cold winter. I did not move to Arizona to be cold. And we have a cold winter, and then all of a sudden, I still have to deal with a hot summer. It's like, no, no, no. I don't mind paying my dues, but at the end of the day, I want to be. I do want to be. I do want to be comfortable. Jackie says, hoping to get packing boxes sorted by the end of June, unpacked and put away by the end of July, then sewing. Tell you what, it's I think Russ is going through withdrawals now. He had to take his little babies in for a spa day. And so now he's got to find other activities. It would have been a perfect opportunity for Russ to have caught up on his long arming. since the long arm didn't go to the spa. But he's also got to pack and get ready to go out of town for a while as well. Zaza said, "Come to Scotland. You'll never have to worry about heat again." I want to come to Scotland. I want to go through all the Harry Potter stuff. I want to go through. I'd love to be able to go for like 10 days and spend nights in different castles and all that, and just do the full immersion. Right. I would love to go to Scotland, Ireland, all of that area. Charlotte says, "I really do love sharing John." See, she's such a sweetheart. I love my YouTube family. Susan says, To be clear, right? I do not like electrical storms. Our home was struck by lightning just after her fourth birthday. I can't imagine what that would be like. I know it was interesting growing up. I can't tell you how many times I would be in the car with my mother on the way to school, and we'd have to go back home to make sure the coffee pot was off or the iron was unplugged. And even though we checked it 3 times before we left, and I could tell her, I checked it, I know it was unplugged, we still had to go back because she had had a fire on their farm when she was really young. And so, because of it, she just always had a paranoia about fire again. Oh, Inez is in Newfoundland. Look at that. As I said, it was nearly 70 today. Crazy. Russ goes, now you suggest that. Listen, I can't be responsible for everybody, right? I'm still trying to pay off all the stuff that you've got me convinced that I had to have. That's okay. I'm a grown man. I get what I want. I'm really excited to. I'm really excited about some of the new Tula Pink stuff. Some of the new, some that new design, the whole line she just came out with. So I just actually got that put away. Now I'm trying to find some AccuQuilt patterns that I want to do with it, and have that as my let that be the machine that cuts all that, so I know it's got perfect cuts, so it'll sew perfectly nice. We'll see how that turns out, but I'm realizing that maybe cutting had a lot to do with how bad some of my stuff turned out. As I'm starting to see that I'm sewing a lot better, but I think it could be that Jake over here is taking good care of me too. So I don't know. He's actually been, and I don't want to brag on him because as soon as I brag on the thing, he'll start messing up. But he's not giving me thread breaks lately. He's been actually really good and focused on helping me just get projects done. So that's been very, very nice. Right. She already said her and Sally will come over and babysit the stash. I tell you what, I bet you Russ has an interesting stash. It's kind of funny. We never see his stash. He says Percy would judge you. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Zaza said they were in a hotel in St. Thomas when it got hit. I just can't imagine, you know, what that type of electrical would do in that, right? It's just, it's funny what you just don't think about um, that happens in that. Let's see. There we go. Oh, look at Katie's in the house. Hey, Katie. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Good afternoon to you. I saw you were on with Sean this weekend, and so I did not get to watch it. I did finally catch up and watch Russ 11Zs this afternoon while I was doing some things. The problem is I bounce back. I don't I have the cutting room where I have to put all this stuff together. Then I was in the master bedroom working on that long arm before I came in here, and so it just sometimes just takes a while for me to get caught back up. But I will get caught up on my YouTubes. It's been just crazy, crazy weekend. Look, Katie's like, look who's sewing. See, I do sew. I know it's what I, I know. When I went to Quilt Club yesterday and started taking in completed projects, I think they were shocked because I think they think, okay, he only comes to socialize. I was like, no, Mama Jan comes just to socialize. She even admitted yesterday she had her machine on, but at the when I left, she had still yet to sew, which means, and she was probably getting ready for lunch, so that's okay. Oh, we made homemade pizza yesterday on the Blackstone pizza in the Blackstone pizza oven. It was pretty awesome. So, but still getting used to making our dough and how we cook pizza on the pizza oven. It cooks literally, cooks the entire crust in that like in 90 seconds in that. It just cooks so hot and so fast. So it is taking some getting used to, but we'll get there. I think it's kind of cool. There we go. Nice. All right. See what else is going on. Hey, Linda's Trendy Threads is here. Thanks for joining this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. Katie goes, I didn't mean anything by that, other than I managed to catch you live for. No, you're good, girl. I tell you what, some lives I get on and start talking and going on, and others are like, he does know how to sew, right? It's supposed to be a quilting channel, and it is all good. We do what we need to do, and Miss Katie, I know you do. So she's knocked out a lot of projects lately. No judgment, no offense here ever. That's what I love about the YouTube family. Lord have mercy. If I wanted judgment and to feel feel something else, I could just reach out to some of my family. I tell you, I don't deal with any of that anymore. I'm not having drama, so it takes a lot to hurt my feelings. Right. Else. Oh, hey, I do want to do the pattern giveaway, so let's not get me too distracted. If you put exclamation point pattern in the chat, I'll give a couple of the sparkle and stripes Villa Rosa patterns away that we're going to do for the holiday quilting bee, and I will drop those in the mail this week. So exclamation point pattern, and we will get those going. Even if you're not doing the holiday quilting bee, it's still a free pattern. So if you want to maybe do it some other time, and if you're joining the holiday quilting bee, you don't have to do what I'm working on. It just so happens that's what I'm doing. But if you want to work on something else, you are most certainly free to work on whatever you would like to work on. So it's no requirements on what needs to be there. Katie goes, out of my three kids, how many do you think? Um, Anyone want to guess? I am not stepping into that, Katie. That seems like that's a loaded question. So no, I am not stepping into that because you just don't know, right? Although I have to say it's real funny. My son is in the Air Force, and he graduated this weekend from Liberty University with his bachelor's in cybersecurity, and so in IT, and so very proud of him. Such an accomplishment, great young man. I did not go because I was just there for Easter, so I just couldn't make another cross country trip, especially it's gotten so expensive. Mm. But my niece, who lives in Virginia, and my daughter's right there, so they got to be part of it and be there with him. But it was funny because I was talking to my niece this morning, and I said, you know what? I just really failed on being the good dad, right? I forgot to get him something for graduation, but he literally just bought a house in Knoxville, Tennessee, and just closed on it. So they're just now actually packing, moving into it. And I said, so I decided that I'll just get him a graduation um, housewarming, present, all at one shot. Um, Interesting enough, she goes, "Oh, well, that's all good and done because his girlfriend said they've got a few things they want, and which turns out to be a $400 Bartesian, drink mix machine, which I have, a Blackstone griddle, but he wants the combo one that's only like $1,200, and he wants, yeah." I was like, yeah. So I think what he's going to get instead is a gift card from his father so he can get exactly what he wants. So it was like, what happened to the days when the kids, wanted like $25 gifts? I mean, like, come on. So, but doesn't mean I'm any less proud of him and that he's not a great young man and that he didn't accomplish something pretty significant. But it just made me laugh. It's like, wow, just funny what we get into. All right. Let's see. Exclamation point pattern. Let's wait one more minute and I will go over and get Nightbot to draw a couple of winners. And if you do win, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, I'm hoping, is my email address. So if you will just email me your mailing address, I will get the pattern out to you. So let me go over and hit Nightbot up. And let's see who is on here. So let's choose a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, right? Isn't that what they say? So let's see who is on here. All right. So we'll pick two winners tonight. And the first one is, oh, look at Balloonist down in Tucson. So I did not keep your address from the time before. So if you'll send me an email with that, I will get that out to you. And one more. Let's do another winner. Inez, look at you. So if you both will send me an email, I will get those out and get those over to you. So, and by the way, crazy enough, and I am absolutely not complaining, but I realized I had not ordered stamps for a while, and so I like to special order my stamps because I like special stamps. I like um, cutesy stamps. I know y'all just can't imagine that. And anyways, I'm sitting there looking at stamps, and would you believe stamps are 73 cents? I'm like, okay, when did stamps become 73 cents? Because, honestly, you don't mail that much anymore. So, I mean, it's so seldom that I have to drop something in the mail that I didn't even think about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is just crazy. So, congratulations, Inez Balloonist. I know I missed something. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, Candace says, I've received the pattern from last week. Thank you. You are most certainly welcome. Thank you for being part of the YouTube family and just putting up with me and letting me rattle on and talk about what's going on. All right. So I let this crazy, I let this bunch up at the bottom. So I'm trying to take out this bottom piece so I can restitch it. Thought that was the whole point of putting the guide stitches on here, but it's my fault for multitasking, but that's okay. I can take this one section out and it will be as good as new. But I really like this one. This is a table runner that I think got in a kit from Villa Rosa. So it's one that I did up at the park home last year sometime. It's been sitting down here in a pile forever that needed to be quilted and the binding done. And I was like, and I was actually going to just quilted itself, and then, where I could just turn it inside out and, like do the self binding on it and that. And the more I got to playing with it, I thought, you know what, just do regular binding. I still think it looks better that way. Um, and I still need to practice on the binding. Although I did get stuff done for my daughter, so I did get the quilt done. I took it to the long armor down the street, and she long armed it for me, which was a big, big help. So that got that piece done. I was able to finally, and she even actually trimmed it, which was nice. So I still need to pay her. I need to get her money down to her. Um, but that was a big help. So I did get that done. I got the binding on it Friday night because I knew we would be hopefully getting the tote bag back. And so I had another friend that actually did the tote bag for me. She told me, she said it's because of projects like this that I usually tell people, no, I won't do this. But she loved me enough that she was willing to do it and ended up getting this beehive tote bag and that done. It really turned out beautiful, but she told me it literally, I cut everything, including the soft and stable and everything that we were going to use on it. And she said, I'll have you know, she said it took me over 12 hours to sew down the applique and just do everything that needed to be done on it. So I felt really bad, but I will take care of her and give her some special attention uh, because she was a sweetheart for doing it. And my daughter and the school teacher are going to be so thrilled when they see it. But it's just like, wow, it's just, it's funny when you sometimes buy patterns or kits. I actually bought that as a kit and it was really, really sharp. And it was funny because my daughter goes, "Well, I'll pay you, like whatever, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh, that's so cute," because like you have no idea how much is invested in those two gifts for your teachers. But yeah, it's part of having kids too, right? The only thing is, I just wish I told her, I said, in the future, you've got to give me a lot more notice with still working full time and that. This really required a lot of hoop jumping that she normally would be really good about and not ask me to do. So I will make sure that happens in the future. Mama Jane says stamps just went up to 78 cents, I think they said in July. Yeah, I'm about over it because when I started hitting 73 cents. Now, granted, I did get Betty White stamps. I did get Winter Whimsy stamps. And I did get, I got Save the Manatee stamps. Because again, I have to have specialty stamps, and they actually had some really cool ones. I was like, oh, I wouldn't mind grabbing those, and I wouldn't mind grabbing those. And I was like, okay, literally, I bought like in the old days, what would have been a book. I bought 3 books of stamps, was $43. I'm like, guys, like really, no wonder, I mean, and I hardly ever mail anything. I just keep stamps. I tend to mail, get well cards. I've got such a dear friend that's going through a lot right now. So I try to mail her a card every couple of weeks because she is just absolutely an amazing person. I have never seen her not have the most positive attitude. And so I like to, mail cards to people that are just in, recovery and doing things or been sick. And um, there's just something you'll still never get by. It's just not the same getting an electronic card versus a handwritten um, card in the mail. And Lord knows, they probably wish I'd do anything but handwrite the card because my penmanship leaves a lot to be desired, but it is what it is. Um, but and so, or is it worth it? Absolutely, because I think do people keep cards? Yeah, not so much, but I do think there's something about getting that card in the mail and that's just special for people. And yeah, that's just who I like to be. But tell you what, there's a reason I don't do Christmas cards and a bunch of stuff anymore because it's just not, it's not feasible anymore. I mean, now if you're talking about 78 cents for stamps, I mean, it was bad enough. I thought 73 cents, and I'm not spending that kind of money. And now they want $8 for a greeting card. I'm like, y'all crazy. Hey, Brian, welcome in. Thanks for being here. I may have said that. I don't remember now if I did or not. Oh, Joy says Villa Rosa is improving some on the colors of their patterns. I will be honest, I canceled Villa Rosa this year. It just, I have got, a binder full and it just got to be so much. I will say I really do like the sparkle and stripes pattern that we're doing. I think Judy's the one that sent me an email and suggested it. So I appreciate that. Thank you. So I did go out and get it. And obviously, I bought some extra ones as well. But I do think it's a cute pattern. It does allow itself to be cut out of the AccuQuilt. So all of mine is actually laying over there. I do have it all out and ready. I just need to run it through the cutters, and I have not done that, but I hope to do that in the next few days because I will probably be broadcasting Memorial Day from the park home. That's the plan, at least. All right, so now I got the bubble out where John didn't pay attention to what he was doing and allowed that to bubble up. So now we can finish and go back and tack that back down and make that look appropriate. No, did I do it again? No, I didn't. Perfect. Awesome, awesome, awesome sauce. So that is going to be cool. So I hope if you all are off and have time, I can join on the holiday quilting bee. If you can't, it will be, it will be out there if you want to stream it later. You're absolutely welcome to do that. I do have some giveaways coming. I don't have a guest scheduled at this point. I don't know if I'm going to. We'll see. It's just been, I'll tell you what, work has been crazy and a lot been going on. So we'll see how it works out. So, but we will have some fun either way. I did start pulling some prizes and stuff that I want to do for giveaways because I do enjoy doing the giveaways and sharing with everybody. I think that makes it even more exciting for us. So that's always a fun time. Let's see who else. So as I said, I love that K Facet fabric. They do not. They do that pattern in so many colorways. I know. I tell you what. Of course, I'm a Tula pink freak, but K Facet is probably second to me. I like bright, fun colors. Brian says, y'all, I've been trying not to spend too much money, but I have just bought so much thread that I can sew the universe. Look at you. Last time, Brian was still looking at machines, best I remember. Katie says we have to take a pic of the specialty stamps we pick up here in, it has the almost 100-year-old fountain on it. That's kind of cool. Oh, Baluna says she has the pattern, so let's pull another name. So we still have time. Let me go over to Nightbot. Thanks, Balunas, for doing that. And let me select another winner. Jean E is the winner of the second pattern. See, that's why I need to be reading my chat. It also says, Joy, a lot of the newer ones are very pale or gray, and I'm not keen on those. No, I get that. Um, Jody said, or Brian says he did get. Oh, Joanne's going out of business, but I really made out. Yeah, I did too. It's sad. I have yet to be to go into Joanne's. I didn't shop Joanne's a whole lot, and I'll be honest. I usually ordered my um, oh my god, this stuff right from them. Yeah, because I usually buy my batting by the roll. And so usually the best place to get it was Joann's when it was on sale. And the last time I needed some, I ended up getting it cheaper at Walmart. Um, for the same exact batting and got it quicker because there for a while, Joanne's got to the point. Um, Depending on what you were getting, it was taking a couple of weeks for me to get stuff from them. So, and our store here, I think it's always up to the local manager. Our store here was just not managed well, and it was always dirty and just cluttered. So it didn't make you want to shop there. And so I don't know. I haven't had the desire to go into the store. I have no idea if they've got anything left or not. Katrina says she gets her greeting cards at Dollar Tree. I do too. We actually have a variety store here in the compound, and they do 50% off all their cards, so they're not bad. But I will tell you, I noticed Dollar Tree carries Hallmark, so I started going there because again, I'm not. It adds up so quickly. Katrina says her Christmas list is getting a lot smaller. Jordy likes a brighter fabric. See, that's why we all have something in common. Brian says, I did. I could probably make a quilt with just the thread. Somebody did stash up, didn't they? He's also said it is nice to get real mail. It is. We just don't get it that often anymore. Mm-mm-mm. All right. So I don't know. So I think this is turning out pretty good. So I am happy with this. So I will get this table runner done. So I did long um, stitch in the ditch basically is what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to go back and do it the other way to get that done. And then I will have yet another table runner done from the weekend. So, it's funny because it's like, what project do I want to work on now? Do I want to work on this? Do I want to knock that out? What do I do? But I will say we did stop last night long enough for John to watch a Hallmark movie because I am a Hallmark fanatic. I do belong to Hallmark Plus, and it's really nice because it's not that expensive, and I don't have to pay a fortune. I actually get a few perks by being a Hallmark Plus member, and I don't have to watch commercials. And they have a new movie out called The Groomsman with Jonathan Bailey in that, and of course, and it was just such a cute storyline and got really hooked into it to only realize, okay, you could tell like the way the story's going that, okay, there's going to be more than just the one movie, right? We finished it last night and realized, oh, there's a total of three, and so the other two are already out. So now someone's got to have some patience and let John watch the next two because it is a really cute series. And so I did watch that last night. All right, let's see what else do we have. Homework Plus, Groomsmen. Look, everything that's on the list. How cool is that? And so, um, Jordy says her Joanne's is closing in 10 days, even though I don't go there. No, I will agree with Jordy on that. I did not shop ours very often for the reasons I said, but it was always nice. Yeah, I had the security of knowing it was there if I really needed something because I do. I'm very fortunate, right? I have five local quilt stores, all within 10 or 15 minutes. Joanne's was like 20 minutes. Um, and but I did buy different things from Joanne's. I typically didn't buy notions and that kind of stuff, but I would buy um, artificial flowers and things like that. It's just I don't know. It just seemed like different times Joanne's called to me for different reasons, and so I will agree that it's sad to see the store go. I know a lot of people love Joanne's, did a lot of things at Joanne's. I will tell you, I had a lot of framing done at Joanne's. Most of the pictures in my home are custom frames, and all of those actually came from the Joanne's across Phoenix, so not the one close to me now, but across town. and I did like that one. It was one of the old ones that was like the like in the old supermarket or whatever. It wasn't the new modern one, and I really, really liked that Joann's, and spent a lot of time there doing things. So I don't know, all good, all cool. All right, guys, I am gonna finish this last one. I need to finish that out, but we are at an hour, and I am having Mama Jan for dinner tonight, having homemade chicken enchiladas with homemade sauce and homemade tortilla chips. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you for tuning in. It means so much. If you won the pattern tonight, just shoot me an email, John, John, at guyscraft2. I'll get those dropped in the mail for you Monday, Tuesday, and get those out. I hope everyone has an amazing week ahead. I appreciate each and every one of you. Mothers, grandmothers, fur babies, happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you. And as always, until next time, happy crafting.